Roger Ailes passed away today. Roger had a huge effect on this country, on the news, on all of us around the table, in every building where a Fox News employee has worked or works today. But it wasn't just Fox News and its millions of viewers that benefited from Roger. All other news outlets were improved by him, for he pushed them to rethink all their biased views. He called them on it, then sought to fight it with the profound idea that became Fox News. You can see his effect not just in Fox News' wild success, but among those who wished there were no opposition to their views. Those outside the news may not have liked FNC, but their lives have also been improved by smarter analysis created by healthy competition. Roger created a more informed public by making our competition work for it, which probably drove them nuts. The mark of an achievement is that you can't imagine the world before it. What was news like before Fox News? I remember it. It was a place where diverse opinion was scarce, where millions of patriotic Americans were ignored by a mainstream media that dominated a world of frightened, dull-witted conformity. That era died when Fox News was born. Personally, I wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for Roger. He gave me a show in the dead of night called Red Eye, even though he had actually met me first. What was he thinking? And I'm just one of hundreds of stories like that. He was a man who saw something in all of us, potential, talent, edge, things that other people didn't see. We will always be grateful for that. But we saw something in him, too, something we'll likely never see again. So, I want to start with you, Dana. Your thoughts?
Well, a lot. When you said that you wouldn't be here without Roger, I think that is true, I guess, possibly for everybody here at the table. In particular, I think of, for me, I had never actually expressed my own opinion in public before I came here. When I had been on television before, I was always speaking on somebody else's behalf. And I really don't know what he saw in me that he thought that I could do this. Because I remember when we first started 5-6 years ago, we would be talking about things like legalization of drugs, and people say, well, what do you think? I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then with some time and space to develop your career is actually what I think happened here for me. I saw that George H.W. Bush said that he doesn't think he would have been president if it hadn't been for Roger Ailes and the political consultancy that he provided for him and the humor. And then I would say this, so I don't take up all the time. If you are interested in communications or television, or you want to improve your own presentation style, Roger Ailes wrote a book called You Are the Message, and it really is the one that you should, if you haven't read it yet, put it on your list or reread it, because it really gives you the best insight into how to be a good communicator. It's technology agnostic. It is about how to actually be your best communicator as yourself. So he will be missed, and my sympathies, of course, for his family.
KG?
You know, Dana, that book was also very instrumental in my life, and I remember it was part of the assigned reading at UC Davis in my rhetoric and communications class. And it was a public speaking class, and I remember I loved the book. I underlined it, highlighted it, the whole deal. I'll never forget the day that I was on CNN, and I got a call. Myself said, oh, Roger Ailes would like to speak to you. And I was like, whoa, you know, like the Wizard of Oz. And I took the call, and he said, this is Roger Ailes. I want to tell you, I think you're doing a great job on television. And was interested in me coming to the Fox News channel, and I was so excited. And I remember when I first met him, and I brought my book, and it was all marked up, and I was so happy to have him, sign it for me, and to meet somebody that had such an incredible formative impact on so many people's lives. And I came over here and worked, and he, took a chance on me and developed me from a prosecutor into an on-air talent. He saw something, in all of us. Each of us have a unique story. What I really love most about him is he was such a loyal person. He was very devoted to his employees, whether you were on camera, off camera. We all mattered. He cared about our families. When my father was dying, he was so there for me, and he became a second father to me. And I hope people understand that, because we all have different and unique experiences, and this is, a complicated life, I think, that he lived. I think he made me a better person, and certainly a better, co-host and on-air talent, and also very good to my son. And my son and Zach, friends, and go to baseball games together and share Sundays. And I always felt a part of a family, even though, my parents had passed away and I had no family here. So, my heart goes out to Beth and to Zachary, who's a lovely young man who's been raised incredibly well. So God bless them and his commitment to not only this channel, to all of our lives, but to this country.
Juan?
Well, to me, just looking at it from a purely political standpoint, I think he had a key role in Nixon. I think he had a key role in Reagan.
Yeah.
That's where I met him. And I think he had a key role in George H.W. Bush's presidency. So he not only created the top cable news channel in America, or somebody said the world, but he also put powerful people in office. You know, just as we're talking about Mitch McConnell wouldn't be there without Roger Ailes as Senate Majority Leader. So his influence, his power is so incredible. I do think that you've got to, you know, discuss, you know, he left here in very troubled circumstances, terrible charges against him. And, you know, it's just not the Roger I knew, not the Roger I loved. He was so great to me, to my family. You know, he persuaded my wife that I should come here back in 1996, 97 when I first signed a contract. And just a great guy all along.
And stood by you, too, going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With NPR, yeah.
Jesse.
I'm just incredibly grateful to have been able to work for Roger Ailes for 15 years. He's probably one of the most patriotic people I've ever met. Love this country very much. One of the funniest people I've probably ever met. Very quick-witted. Great judge of talent. Really understood the TV screen. An excellent storyteller. And, you know, I owe everything to him. Fox has been my whole life and career for the last couple of years. And, you know, it is unfortunate that he left here in conjunction with some of those charges of inappropriate behavior, but I just want to say he's been a great father, great husband. I feel terrible for them, and I wish them all the best, and he's a very influential American.
There's one last thing. Before the show, I was watching Sean Hannity on Tucker, and he said something that was so, it sounded just like me. When Hannity started, he said he was terrible. Well, I was actually worse. And the fact that somebody would stick with you when you're bad, and he stuck with Hannity when Hannity claimed he was bad, and I was, well, you should have seen Red Eye in 2007, a sweaty mess like me, but he stuck with it. Maybe because he wasn't watching it, but he stuck with me, and I mean, he stuck with all of us.
You watch it, and Zach loves your show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Once again, our deepest condolences to the Ailes family. The Five returns in a moment.